live stream is started up here. Okay. All right. And it looks like we're expecting a couple other people, Shrela and Dakshana. So we'll get
Stream has
started.
started up here. Okay.
Oh, there it went. Okay. And yeah, so I mean, let's go ahead and get started here for a second. So we've got Vyas. All right. Um, oh, okay. So are you ready to play? Let's go ahead and start. And if the other two people on the program show up, we can get started. But you've got okay, so you've got your original sound ready to go.
Mhm.
Okay, so just tell us what you'll be playing in the composer, and then whenever you're ready, I'll go ahead and share your music so we can see.
Wait, let me just see if you can hear it. Wait.
Yeah, you're fine.
Wait, can you wait, is that
Oh yeah, it's cutting it out.
okay, wait. Me. Give a second.
Ah, there it is. Yep,
Okay.
I can tell it's on now.
So is it on the let me test if you can hear it.
Perfect, perfect. Sounded great. Okay, yeah. So just tell us what you'll be playing, and then you can go ahead and start. Okay.
I'll be playing variations on a theme by Paganini.
Nice. Okay, nice work, Yas. This is coming along well. Yeah, this is a tricky piece. And this is yeah, this is coming along really well. What do we how many more variations are there? Okay, just a couple. So now it's working up to the finale variation here. Um, nice. So how did you feel about that? How did you feel that went?
Well, I messed up more in like the variation 5, because it's faster, and
Mm.
but in the earlier ones I think I did better.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So what did you feel like was going well?
Um, like I guess
I mean,
that's
I thought it was sounding good. I just want to know how you are
yeah.
assessing your own playing here.
I was thinking that the legatos and stuff I did
Hmm.
better on. Like I feel like I connected in like the first variation and stuff.
Hmm.
But I think in the later variations, like variation 4 and variation 5 and variation 6, when it got faster,
Hmm.
and I think it was like I just didn't get the timings correctly for, especially from
Hmm.
like measure 109.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah, I mean that makes that's really tricky, and then kind of working in the trills there, right? Um, right. That's gonna be pretty tricky. Um, so yeah, I thought it was coming along well. So two things to think about as you're playing this, right? So first thing, um, big picture. If you're looking at like variation 1 through 3, how would you describe the overall feel or sound that you're going? So I would say these first three variations are pretty, they're in a similar tempo. Um,
Yeah, they're all like the same tempo. I
mhm.
was thinking they have like a more like joyous kind of feel. I don't know. Happy.
Yeah, and so I mean, and particularly too, so in the kind of texture you're trying to create, and I don't mean like homophonic polyphonic texture, I mean like kind of a specific. So when you're thinking about the sound, right, would you say it is, I don't know, is it supposed to be kind of like dreamy and smooth, or is it supposed to be really percussive, or is it supposed to be, do you hear this as being like really light and playful, right? So what
I'm
are
thinking
you thinking?
like some kind of like I think it's like playful, but also more smooth.
Mhm. Yeah, and you can, so this is what this is what I'm thinking when I see this, right? So number one, the theme has this mixture of, so notice you've got the rolled chords in the left hand, right? um and then obviously the gestures in the actual theme, you have kind of a gliding legato pickup into a staccato. So there's a little bit of, there's in the melodic stuff, there's kind of a sliding um effect with those legato notes, but it's also got a lot of crisp staccatos, a lot of rolled chords. And the notes are very, it's got a lot of these intricately moving notes, right? So and that's the theme. But then even when we get into variation 1, right, we've got, right, then we have the whole thing, right? So you're still getting that a little bit, again, kind of light, playful, crisp sound. um so the reason I bring that up is I think the pedal, I know that it's marked, but I think the pedal was getting a little too overwhelming, in especially in the first three variations. In that, I mean, so instead of instead of sort of touches of pedal for resonance, it became kind of a wash of pedal. And I think you were, so that's why, so you were playing this well, you're doing all this good work with your fingers. I think this is not necessarily the place to wash all that out. Does that make sense? So
Yeah.
that would be my first. So in this first three variations, think of the sound, sort of the sound character you want to go for. I would go to, when you do that, think of touches of pedal rather than, and I know it's tricky, right? So sometimes if you've got a piece that's using lots of pedal, you can kind of treat the default with your foot as on the pedal, like pedal is down as default, and then you clear it. Versus here, I think this is more touches of pedal, and the default is your foot is off the pedal, right? So we have in the second part, right? So notice where exactly, and pedal markings are always kind of rough. That's just one of the things where we don't have a lot of specificity in the notation, right? So we got pedal on, pedal off. But if you look what's happening, you're pedaling to emphasize the chord, and then when you go into the have something with steps, right, then it's off, right? So it's a little bit of like touch, crisp, touch the pedal, off, touch. So do you see what I mean? So it's a little bit more like a dip into the pedal rather than like a holding. Right. So that's just one example. But so as you keep going through this, right, remember, think about how is the pedal enhancing, right? And then even variation too, right? No pedal. So we can hear, right? We can hear all those finger notes. And then same. So even variation 3, right? Where was that? Oh yeah, okay. Oh, simile pedal means, I guess, means no pedal. Because the pedal that we had before said sensa pedal, and then simile pedal. I don't know. Nobody knows. Then I thought, so here it was appropriate, right? Although, again, the pedal that's being indicated is a dip. Again, so this, I thought the pedal was more appropriate in this one, right? But don't necessarily let the pedal become just a wash of everything. Use it, make sure you're using it to an effect. So second thing, and is there nobody else's? I don't think anybody else is here. So we have a little bit of time to work. So the second thing, and this is a little bit as you get into this next variation, can you try? I liked that you were starting the rolled chord on the first page in the left hand. I like that you were starting the rolled chords almost like on the beat, which was, I like that. That was a nice effect. Right. So I want to see, can you play like from measure 9, just your left hand alone for me real quick?
Okay.
And I
So
want to see how crisp you can get those rolls. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. Good. So keep what to think about physically, I think, right? To keep these light, but also really fast. Get your fingers, like set your fingers as if you're just going to play the chord all together. Get your fingers lined up on the keys and go right. So you don't want to come in right from above. Keep your fingers right there and keep them really set. So you can just go right. So try that with both hands.
okay, so like that.
Yeah, yeah. See, keep going. Yeah. Yeah. Good. That's sounding a little more Did you feel that that sounded a little more crisp?
Yeah.
Yeah, good. So that, I mean, that's, I think the key with that is really just remembering kind of set your fingers and um so similarly now is variation 5, like you were saying, right? So this is the tricky thing about this is, I mean, besides that you've got your, left hand doing all this stuff, you've got the right hand chords are staccato and it's all these chords, but it also says soft and light, right? That's really hard, right? Because we're going ba, 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 ba. So the temptation again is that because you want to get staccato and because it's all these chords, your hand is usually like flying off the keys like this. And the further away you drop in from, the louder and louder it's going to get. So you're going to lose the lightness, right? So what I want you to think about, again, keep your fingers set. Be aware of how far your hand is moving away from the keys and keep it from going too far. So in those first two chords, right, we've got, what do we got? Wherever we went from up there. Um, right. So when you do that, make sure you're not going bump, 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 bump. Think of more like, and you can see my hand from the side, right? Keep your fingers close on the keys and use a little bit of this kind of motion. That will help get you the staccato articulation without having to take your hand away so much. So can you try that slowly with just the right hand and lead kind of angle towards the upper notes so we hear those. Try that. Mm-hmm. Good, good. Right. So, and that's the thing. So, I think the key there to keeping it soft and light while still getting the staccato is keeping your fingers close on the keys and kind of using that kind of motion. Right. So that same with the left hand too, right? So that's what's going to help you keep that light. So be really mindful of the physical motions that you're using because that sounded a lot better. Um, yeah. And I think that those are the two things I would brush up. But this is sounding really nice, Joss. So continue, just continue working through. You've got those final few variations, right? Um, those were the main two things I was hearing to kind of polish up in the beginning, right? So getting any place where you've got chords that need to be light but still kind of crisp. Um, you work on those motions we just talked about, and then with the pedal, make sure that the pedal doesn't, you don't just hold the pedal down and it washes all this good work you're doing with your fingers out. But otherwise, yeah, this is sounding terrific. Okay, so nicely done. You can go ahead and go. I was waiting for our other two performers. But I'll see you later. All right.
Yeah.
Nice.